Hello, my name is Lisa, and I'm speaking from the United Nations University Institute for Water, Environment and Health. And this is a tutorial about the SDG Policy Support System 2017. I'm going to assume that you've read the user guidelines. If you haven't, please go to our website and download them. This tutorial is about data entry. How do you get data from your tools into this system? I'm on the home page here. Let's go to the capacity component. As you know, when you click on the home page, you get to a particular component and you always land on the resources element. However, there are these buttons across the top which take you to different elements under capacity assessment. And if you click on the button that says Enter Data, it will take you to the questionnaire page. Now, which questions are included? Let's go back to Capacity Resources element. This column here indicates whether a particular indicator or question has been included in this version of the trial PSS. You can see that there is no and yes. When you go to the questionnaire, only the questions that are indicated as a yes here are reflected. The questions are relatively simple to answer. Sometimes there'll be a slider which you click on and move with your mouse. If you click on a different area, it won't move the slider. You actually have to pick it up and take it with you. Most of the other questions are answered by clicking checkboxes, and we've tried to make the answers as standard as possible so that there will be little confusion. Generally speaking, the same questions are repeated for each target and indicator. Let's go back to the capacity and resources element. When you've entered data, the next button along is See Data. Now, although you can change your answers on the questionnaire, you can enter data, you can take data away, you can't do anything to this data page unless you have the password. However, you can look through all of the data that you've entered, check out some patterns, and discuss things in detail. Where there are light blue columns, that means that that is the information that is automatically translated into the summary view. You may remember that the summary view has 3 or 4 subcomponents that are measured, and when you see a light blue column on the data sheet, that will be what is reflected in the summary view. So let's go back to resources. You can see which indicators and questions are reflected in the questionnaire. When you enter data, you see the questionnaire. When you want to see data, you visualize the answers that you've given. And if you like, you can go back to the summary view and see how changing your answers has changed whether these subcomponents show as inadequate, adequate, significant, or no evidence. Any of the components that you go to, you simply do the same thing, enter data, and the questionnaire will come up. Sometimes there'll be questions which require you to type in an answer. For example, this question asks about lead ministries or institutions for each target under SDG 6. And when an answer is required, you can type that in directly. And when you go back to your policy and institutional page, and then you go back to See Data, you can see those changes that you made in the questionnaire. And again, those changes in the questionnaire may also change your summary view. So, just to recap, you can go to any component, you'll land on the resources page. You enter data, and you'll see the questionnaire. If you go back to resources and see data, all of the data that you've entered in the questionnaire will be displayed. And you can usually see in light blue which are the data that are reflected in the summary view. If you have any questions, please contact UNU-INWEH.